What's up, people? Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I do a lot of product reviews and how-tos, so if it's something you'd be interested in, go ahead and smash that subscription button and hit that notification bell so you guys get notified when I post a video. In this video, we're going to take a look at a garage heater. This is an electric heater I picked up off Amazon, and what we're going to do is I got everything laid out on the table here. We're going to take a look at it. We'll go ahead and hook it up, and then we'll see how well this thing works. Alright guys, just some information. We're here in Michigan, and as you guys can see out my garage door there, it's pretty cold. It's I think today it's around 33, mid-30s. Snow's melting a little bit. We got some rain, drizzle, but it's pretty cold out. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's my breath. So this is a perfect time to test out this heater. Usually I use a propane heater. It's about 30,000 BTUs to get some heat in my garage when I'm doing outdoor projects. But I wanted to try out this electric heater, see how well it worked. And if it works good, it'll be nice to prop up in the corner maybe of your garage, and I'll be able to turn it on and get at least your work area heated up. I don't think this is going to do as well as my 30,000 BTU torpedo heater, but it might be sufficient enough for a small little work area like by your workbench or something like that. So what we'll do is I'll give you guys an idea of everything it comes with, all the options on it, the functions and stuff like that, and we'll go ahead and install it, wire it up. Quick disclaimer: 1, my garage is a mess, so don't judge me. 2, I'm not a professional electrician. I'll give you an idea how I'm going to wire it. But for you guys, if you're not comfortable with it, maybe go ahead and hire an electrician for this, or somebody that might be a little bit more knowledgeable on wiring. It asks for a 40 amp breaker on the back here, which I'll show you guys in a minute. So you're going to want to use probably 8 gauge wire, 10 minimum. I wouldn't suggest 10, but go ahead and use some 8 gauge. That should be sufficient for a 40 amp breaker, and use that to wire this. And if you want to wire it to a switch, directly hardwire it to the breaker or the fuse box, whatever, that should be fine. But let's go ahead. I'll show you what comes in the box, and we'll see how it works. Alright guys, so go ahead and take a look at the unit here. Here's the front. That's what the front panel looks like there. Looks like it's got a digital display. These louvers right here are adjustable to direct the heat. Here goes your brackets to mount it. There's your hardware, and it comes with a remote to control it, and then there's your instructions there. Go ahead and give you some measurements here. Top to bottom, you're looking at about a foot, 12 inches. Front to back, you're looking at about 14.5 to 15. And then the width, you're looking at about 14.5. Go ahead and show you the back here. Here's what the back looks like. Got your wires coming out there. Got your on and off switch. And then you got a thermostat, and it says inside thermostat, or you can use a wall thermostat. You guys can see that there. There's some information there on the side where it suggests you use a 40 amp circuit breaker. There's a little bit more information. 7,500 watt, 240 volt wall ceiling mounted garage heater. 7,500 watts is the max on it. Here's a quick look at a couple different ways you can mount this. I got a wall mount and a ceiling mount. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do here, we're going to go ahead and install this top bracket. It's got 2 locations there, a high and a low location. We're going to install it with these rubber washers that they give you, and then these thumb screws, and these allow you to adjust the angle of the heater once it's all installed. So show you how to do that. I'm going to take the bracket here. It's going to go, this rubber washer is going to go on the inside, and what it does is allows you, when you adjust it, to keep the heater in place, because if you don't use these, it's never going to tighten down. So go ahead and screw this in here. And then we'll end up doing both sides the same way. So there you go. Now you can hand tighten this, and it allows it, once you loosen it, you can adjust for the angle and then tighten it back up. So go ahead and do the other side here. Like I said, don't forget your rubber washer. Slide that in there. Line everything up. And then go ahead and screw it down. That's going to allow it to stay in place. Next, you're going to want to find a place where you're going to want to mount this, whether it's on a wall, which would be like that, and then this would hook underneath like so. Or if you want to hook it to the ceiling, mount it to the ceiling. I think I'm going to go ahead and mount this to the ceiling. This way it'll be up and out of the way, and it won't take up my wall space. Alright guys, so what I decided to do here, I was going to hang this from my ceiling up here, but I might move it to there later on, but for the time being, I'm just going to mount it to my wall. This way it'll be easier to access, as you guys can see there. Now one thing I did notice is, in the hardware bag, this does not come with lag bolts. What I did is I just ran this lag bolt into my stud there. That's the easiest, quickest way to do it. If you don't know where your studs are, go ahead. You can use a stud finder here. It's real easy. It'll detect it for you. That's detecting it. And then you just mark it. And go ahead and run your lag in there. I'm going to go ahead and run one more at the top there. And then we should be able to hang this heater on here, wire it up, and see how well it works. Alright, so that's how it's going to look. I got to run the bolts and run the wiring next. Alright guys, so here's the wiring. Got everything buttoned up here. I'm actually using some wire that I had from an old project here. It's actually thicker than what is coming out of the unit. So I don't know if they got 10 gauge running out, and then I got 8 gauge here. But for a 40 amp setup, you're going to want to use 8 gauge. That's what it calls for. You might be able to use 10 gauge, but if you want to be on the safe side, go ahead and use some 8 gauge. I'm going to go ahead and cut this to length so I can run this to where my outlet is. I went ahead and threw a zip tie right through there just to give this wire some added support, not to pull on these connections here. Got everything wired up here. Take the remote and we're gonna power it on. Alright guys, so that's what it sounds like powered on. Fan's not too loud, and it's actually blowing a decent amount of air here. I actually can feel the heat coming off of it. on the bottom there. Shows it's on high, and the thermostat on there says 40 degrees. So let's see if we can turn it up here. So it looks like 85 is what it maxes out at. 85 degrees. And it's at 39 degrees right now. There's heat coming out of it. Alright guys, get a closer look here. I got this infrared thermometer here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the back wall. Leave this on for a while and we'll see how warm it gets. Alright, so I've had this running probably for about 5 to 10 minutes here, and as you guys can see, the temperature on the heater is up to 52 degrees. And I got the louvers here kind of blowing a little bit towards me. What we'll do is we'll see how warm these louvers are. Shine the infrared thermometer on there. The louvers are about 190 degrees here. I got this barrel fan. It's right below the heater here. We'll go ahead and hit that, see what that's at. You guys can see here, it's showing about 72 degrees. Depending on what part of the fan you're at. Got about 67 degrees there. Fluctuates a little bit depending on what part of the fan you're at there. This is just a piece of metal that I'm hitting with the thermometer just to give you guys an idea of the temperature reading on it. So all in all, not too bad. Like I said, I had this running for almost 10 minutes now, and this little corner of the garage is decently warm right now, enough to work in, and it's going to help out a lot if you actually have your garage insulated. So for me, because my garage isn't fully insulated, I don't have the roof insulated or anything, this is probably just going to be good enough for a section of my garage, like around my workbench or something like that. Don't expect this to be anything like a propane torpedo heat or anything like that. It's not that powerful. Decent warm breeze coming off of it, and you'll probably feel it within maybe about a 6 to 8 foot distance from the unit. You get a little bit past that, and you're not going to feel the fan anymore. So nothing too crazy. It is low 30s here in Michigan, so it is pretty cold. So it's got a hefty task to get this area warm, but all in all, not too bad. You can find these on Amazon. This is the Dr. Heater 7,500 watt unit. If you guys are interested, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description box. It will be an affiliate link. So if you guys click on that link for one of these, it'll help the channel out a lot. Hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys got any questions or comments, put them below. If you guys like what I'm doing on my channel, hit that subscription button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you guys get notified when I post my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.